Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you guys on this Thursday. This is the month of May. This is my birthday month. I'm so excited for that. Let me do a little bit of house cleaning. I actually need to make sure that I am sharing this out to the group. So let me go ahead and do that. Oh, let's see. I think maybe my husband already did it. Let me see. If not, I'll make sure to do it. I'm gonna share this out to a few groups. Wealth Ascension. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, so sorry for the delay, but I'm so excited because we got a lot to cover. Get your drinks. I got mine. Get you a drink, girl. Guys, girls and guys, get yourself some drinks. Um, Hopefully I shared that. Let me go into the group to make sure. If you guys are watching from the group, can you just give me a holler? Let me know that you can see it in the group, and then we can go ahead and get started. Because y'all, Facebook did some stuff. They don't allow you to post in your group straight from your group. Anyhow, y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because y'all, we're about to tap into abundance. We are about to tap into God's abundance. We're about to tap into your life's abundance. Listen, there are two different ways that you can live life. You can live life the way that everyone else does, or you can live it the way that God literally originally created you to live it. And so today, I'm giving you guys 10 principles, okay? I am not just telling you guys talking and, this is not just coming from on top of my head. No, these are things that I have used in my actual life to shift, right? To shift from lack, scarcity to abundance. Now, a lot of you guys may have known that I told you guys that a coach and this coach is well known. Yeah, she's well known, but she actually kicked me out of her program, right? And so I am going to dive in a little bit deeper and share with you guys how that made me feel and how I was able to get myself up. Y'all, because listen, when you are coaching people, you have to take that serious. You have the ability to speak life into another person's life, okay? And they are listening to you. They are taking the words that you say and they're going to go into action based on what you say. So if you encourage them, if you give them strategies, like they're taking your word for that. Now, you have to understand, for me, it was very much like it was a humiliating time for me because she actually had her virtual assistant or someone on her team to reach out to me and basically tell me, hey, we don't like the way that you created this particular product. We feel that it's too close to ours. Now, mind you, this particular coach, the program that I paid for, she actually gave us templates to use. And I just have to think to myself, like me as a coach and my clients, they're so precious to me. I would never, ever, tell them anything that would make them like, feel some kind of way, feel discouraged. Like if I even thought that my clients maybe, copied off of me or, maybe they got something from me and, turn it around for themselves, I would not, put them in a place of like, oh no, you have to, you're gone. You're out of the program. There's no way that, like, I just wouldn't do that. Because here's the thing, you are giving your clients your strategies to actually use them. That's what I do. I tell my clients all the time, listen, here's a template for this, here's a template for that. Why? Because that's what you're paying me for, so that it can be easier on you. Okay. And so, what the real deal with this coach, I really feel that that was not the real reason why she wanted me out. The real reason was that she was intimidated, okay? And that is, it's her loss, okay? But I have to move on, and this is the way that God literally, like, he allowed me to move on with this system. So it's called the Infinite Mind Blueprint System. And I'm gonna tell y'all, when this coach did this to me, y'all, it knocked me out of my business for a few weeks. It absolutely did. I felt some kind of way. But I'm going to give you guys 10 shifts, okay? Y'all let me know in the comment section where you guys are tuning in from. What city and state are you tuning in from? And let me let everyone know that we are live by hitting followers. We're going to get into principle number 1. And let me know, guys, have you guys ever had something like that happen to you? Have you ever had a coach to maybe kick you out of a program or just do something that you would have never imagined, right? So let me hit followers. Everyone. Okay, there we go. So I tagged everyone. Y'all let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Let's get started. We are going to rock out these 10 principles. Okay, these are the 10 principles of you living a abundant life. Okay, so here we go. Number 1 is ownership of God, understanding who God is. Okay, y'all, I'm getting ready to give y'all 10 principles of operating with an infinite mind. Okay, you don't want to operate with a worldly mind. You don't want to operate in a scarcity mindset. Trust me, you're going to want to tap into this abundant mindset. So, number 1 is understanding that God owns everything. Literally, the Bible says that He owns everything in this earth. So, us recognizing that everything that belongs to God, and then we start to align that with our mind, our spirit, our body, our actions, right? Our purpose in the earth. Listen, that's an amazing thing that happens. Let me pull up Psalm 50, 10, 12, because that's really what I want to pull that up so you can know that, listen, this is the truth. Listen to what God says here. He says, for every animal of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills. And I know every bird in the mountains, and the insects in the fields are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine, and all that is in it is mine. It belongs to me. So once you start to see who your father is, who the creator of the earth is, even if you are someone who you haven't come to God yet, okay? Listen, this earth still operates on principles and laws. But once you understand who the creator of the earth is and how he is abundant and he is rich, and then if you are a son or a daughter of him, listen, you have nothing to be concerned about. You have to get in alignment with knowing that because my father is rich and abundant and he owns everything, then everything belongs to me too. I can have it. It's my inheritance. It's my birthright, right? I am literally downloaded. My DNA is downloaded with success strategies. I cannot fail, right? Even when I have to overcome a challenge, that's not me failing. That is me figuring it out. That's me gathering information so I can go back and make it work. I'll tell y'all a quick little story. So this week I was actually doing some tech in my business. I had to hook something up to Zapier. And if y'all ever use that software, it can be a little tricky. And so I kept trying it. And every time it would make me hit test and it would fail the test. And I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? So I went back, I gathered some more information to try to see if I was doing something wrong. I looked in some of the groups, just trying to see what am I doing wrong. Guess what? I read the directions thoroughly. Only after I read the directions thoroughly did I go back to the software, put in the exact thing that I needed to put in, right? I hit test. Do you guys know that thing worked for me? That taught me a lesson. That blessed me, right? Because a lot of times you guys think that you are failing or you think that something is not working and then you give up. You cannot give up. Why? Because success is downloaded in your DNA. So that means that your relationships, that means your finances, that means that everything in your life has to come into alignment with the mere fact that God owns everything. So if God owns everything, what does that mean for you? That means that these things get to serve your purpose for being here in the earth, right? I know that my purpose in the earth is to heal people, to encourage people, to motivate people, to coach people, right? To push them. So everything that is concerning me, my relationships, my resources, they have to align with that purpose that God has given me authority to walk in the earth. That's principle number one. That's how we're going to like literally walk out these 10 principles, y'all. We have to have a foundation, and that is the foundation. Understanding that God owns everything. And so you are an extension of a great and awesome God. And so by extension, you also own everything. Things are open to you. It's your inheritance, it's your birthright. Okay? We're living under an open heaven. So let me tell y'all this, guys. Let me tell you guys this. Let me see if I want to tell y'all this story. Hold on. I think I'll wait to the next principle. But let's go to principle number 2. So principle number 1, if you're watching, put it in the chat. Understanding that God owns everything. That's principle number 1. Principle number 2 is expanding your vision. Okay? You have to expand your vision. What do I mean by that? Encouraging yourself to look beyond your current limitations and envision a future that's filled with abundance, inspired by the way that God really, how do you guys remember how God showed Abraham? He showed him, he said, hey, you are going to be a father of many nations. But Abraham could not believe it. Why? Because he was so old. His current circumstances dictated that he would not be nobody's father. Honestly, he was too old. And Sarah, she was too old. She was not barren. Not only was she too old, but she hadn't been barren. So here he is in a circumstance, in a situation where God is telling him one thing about him. He's saying that, God's saying, like, I'm going to be a father of many nations. How can that be? Listen, God even knew that. He knew that Abraham was not going to be able to understand it. He knew that Abraham wasn't going to be able to conceive it and visualize it. So God himself said, listen, let me show you something, Abraham. I want you to do this visualization exercise activity. Okay. Go look at the stars, and I want you to start counting them. Count them one by one. And as many stars as you can count, this is going to be the number of your heirs. So not only am I promising that you're going to get one child, but I'm telling you, you are going to be the father of many, many nations. Okay. So look at that. God is literally, he's motivating us to expand our visions, to think bigger than your current circumstances, your limitations, the things that you grew up with. Okay. Bigger. Listen, y'all, our God is so big. So that is one thing that you're going to want to have to do. Now, earlier in this group, I actually shared one of my clients posts, and she said something like, glance at your problem, but gaze on God. I think that's what she said. Glance at your problem, but gaze on God. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's phenomenal, because that is the truth. We're not saying that you don't recognize and you see the things that are not supposed to be happening in your life, those negative things, those things that you're like, hey, what's going on here, God? No. The thing is that, yes, identify those things. And once you identify them, listen, it's in your power to go to God in prayer, to speak to those things. The Bible even tells us that to speak to those mountains. We have the ability to move mountains with our faith. Okay. So you have to get to a place to where you're saying, I see something in my life that I don't like, but I still can see with my eagle eyes, I still can see with my God eyes, the vision that God has for my life. And I'm going to keep on going. And I will not allow anything to hold me back, to stop me. Right. So, yeah. So let's see if we can move on to, let's go to number 3. Let me see that. So I'm looking at my notes here, guys. So let's see. Yeah, so just a little part on that, guys, is that when you are doing that, when you are trying to envision your life in a bigger way, in a bigger scope, okay, what you want to do is you want to consider, is this kingdom level? And if it's not kingdom level, then guess what? It's in your power to change it, right? It literally has to start to change. Now, first, you have to identify it, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and let's move on. You know what? I think I'm gonna tell y'all. I have put in here like a few stories that I wanted to tell y'all, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys. Let me say this, y'all. When you are expanding your vision and when you are up leveling, you have to raise your standards. That is something that you're gonna have to do. A lot of people are afraid to do that. I can think about a time, this is before I was married. This was like even before I rededicated my life to God. I rededicated my life to God like about 21, at age 21, 22. Matter of fact, the story that I'm about to tell you guys, this story actually helped me to push myself to basically rededicate my life to God, honestly. So here I was, I was a single mother and I was in college and I'm dating, I'm quote unquote having fun, and I meet this guy. And I like this guy. And we just really hit it off. We're in a relationship for 4 months, and then something happens. I actually find out from a friend, not from him, that he was married. Okay. And when I found this out, I was devastated because I knew that I would have to stop seeing him. I was devastated and just totally, upset with him because he lied to me. But the thing was this, y'all, I actually continued to see him. I continued to carry on this relationship with him, even knowing that he was married. Now, that's one thing about when you are called by God. Listen, God will not allow you to get into so many different things. And even though I wasn't serving God at that time, I was really serving my flesh. Okay. This is before I had rededicated my life to Him. So, what happened was we ended up getting into this accident, this car accident. And, I was driving and this older lady, she hit me. She was going, I don't know, she was going pretty fast. And she ran her stoplight. And next thing I know, we were in this accident. So therefore, my car was totaled. I now thank God, glory be to God, that I was okay. Okay, as far as like my health and everything, I was okay. I think I had to do a little bit of therapy, that kind of deal, but I was okay. Okay, and he was too, because he was a passenger in the car, and thank God he was okay. But y'all have to see that when God is trying to get your attention, He's trying to help you to raise your standard. Listen, there's not anything that He will not do. Okay, He will use all types of circumstances and people to help you to, start to understand. So what happened is that when we got separated, we saw less of it. Well, we got separated because of the accident. We saw less of each other. And I remember calling him, and, I called him up and I was like, hey, what are you doing today? And, let's spend some time, that kind of deal. And his wife answered the phone. She answered the phone and she's like, yeah, this is such and such. I'm just gonna call him Jason. This is Jason's wife. And the kind of person that I was back then, y'all, I was not even like, I did not want to let her know that this really made me crumble inside. And I was just like, okay, well, can you put Jason on the phone? I understand you're his wife, but put him on the phone. Like, I literally had no respect for marriage. Okay. And you guys know that's not like me. Like, I am a person who has been married for 22 years. We just celebrated our 22-year anniversary. So he gets on the phone and I'm just stunned because I'm like, oh, wow. So you're with your wife now. That's what we're doing. And he tells me, he's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, Candace. And so I hang up the phone, and literally that conversation drove me into the arms of Jesus, y'all. It really did. That same day is when I rededicated my life to Jesus. And I'm telling y'all, my life has not been the same. It has been amazing. Okay. And so I say all that to say, y'all, is that if I had never raised my standard, okay, if I had never said to myself, wow, so God really does have a plan for my life. His plan is for me to be with a husband, okay? Someone who loves me. He wants me to be in a marriage where, we are committed to one another, because marriage is a covenant that God created. And although I was disrespectful to this person's marriage, he still blessed me with my husband. We have to raise our standards. So the next one, step number 3, or principle number 3, y'all write this in the comment section. You have to unveil limiting beliefs, right? Identifying and confronting self-limiting beliefs and patterns that hinder your personal, your financial, and spiritual growth. What are those things? You have to identify them, unveil them. And one of the ways I love this, I don't know if you guys know her, but her name is Brooke Castillo, and she is a coach. And she has this framework. It's called the model. And what she teaches in this model is that your thoughts create your feelings, then which in turn creates your actions, and then your actions are what's going to produce your results. Okay? And so let me just share with you guys. I'm going to give it to you like an example here. Let's just say, for instance, that you at your current job, you want to actually supplement your current job. You actually want to replace it and own your own business. Okay? But you think that you can't do it. Now, here's the thoughts that you may be thinking. My business isn't making enough money yet. I'm not sure if my business will ever be profitable. So that's the thought that you're having. And then here are the feelings that the thought is producing. The feelings are, these thoughts might lead to feelings of doubt, uncertainty, and frustration. So you see how your thoughts are going to actually produce your feelings. Now, guess what? These feelings are going to turn into actions, rather inaction. As a result of your feelings, guess what? You may hesitate to build your business. You may hesitate to network with people who could help scale your business. You may stay stuck and stagnant. And as a result, this is what happens. With this mindset and your actions, your business may never, ever get off the ground. So do we see how our thoughts are actually dictating our feelings, and then they're dictating our actions, and they are the producing our results? So we've got to unveil what are the limiting beliefs in your life that are keeping you stuck. Now, in order to shift this, what you would want to do is to start to think different thoughts. What are those abundant thoughts that you could think? What if, for example, you thought this about your business? What if I found a tribe or found some people who are actually doing the thing that I want to do? Can I network with people who've already quit their 9 to 5 and they have a profitable business? And guess what? They have some keys, they have master keys, they have all types of clues for me, right? So this is what we have to do. We have to unveil, bankrupt those lies, and restore it with truth and possibilities, guys. So number 4, let's get to principle number 4. Affirmations are key. If you want to step into an abundant mindset, like even right now, this is something that you can start on right now, today. All these things are things that you can do and start on today. But you have to leverage the power of spoken words so that you can manifest what God wants in your life. You got to start speaking these things into existence. I use affirmations, declarations. Listen, and I'm not saying anything that God isn't saying. So that's the key. And y'all, if y'all know anything about me, I'm a Christian business coach. And so that's the route that I'm coming from, you guys. Okay. Now, you don't have to be a Christian to be in this group to get information or to get value from this training. Okay. Because the truth of the matter is, God has given you authority to walk this earth. Okay. So, what I'm telling you guys about affirmations is that they are extremely, extremely powerful. I'll tell you guys a story about a doctor. His name was Dr. Emoto. And what he did was he created this science experiment where he took rice jars. Okay. He took like some little jars and he put rice in 3 jars and he labeled them. He labeled one jar love, the other jar hate, and the other jar was just like a neutral. Okay. So the one that was labeled love, he spoke nothing but positive, loving, encouraging words. The other one was a jar of hate, and he spoke nothing but hate words and, you know, discouragement, all those things. The other jar, which he labeled nothing, he did not speak anything to it. Okay. So y'all pay attention, guys. So for some of you guys who say, "Well, I'm not negative. I never speak anything negative." But what are you speaking to yourself? Do you just not speak anything? Because that also has a result too. So let me tell you guys what happened over the course of 30 days. Do you guys know that the rice that was spoken, love and life and encouragement and motivation, it was so much more healthier than the rice that was, spoken to in a hateful way. And then even worse, the other one where no words, no discouragement words, no encouragement words, no words of love or hate were spoken to it. It was actually just as bad as the one who had been spoken to negatively. So this is an indication of how powerful our words are. Remember, we serve a God who created this earth with his words. Okay? And so we have to understand, guys, that affirmations, declarations, the things that you say to yourself, the self-talk that goes on behind the scenes when no one is watching is important. You have to start to ask yourself, would God talk to me that way? Would I talk to my best friend that way? Then don't talk to yourself that way. Affirm yourself, right? If you really start to get an idea of how God talks to you, I'm telling you that self-talk, that negative self-talk chatter that's going on, it will change tremendously. Okay. All right. Number 5, guys. Number 5, cultivating gratitude. What you are going to want to do is to develop a consistent practice of gratitude, which enhances your perception of abundance and it opens you up to receive more blessings. Let me tell you guys about a story. I remember I was driving on the freeway, and this was like maybe 2 years ago. And I was so upset. I was like, I hate that I have to do this. Why do I have to do this? I'm the only one that has to do this. It was something that I had to do that I didn't want to do. and it's like, I guess it probably was God. I don't know if it was me that made that shift. It had to be from God. Okay. Every good and perfect thing is from God. So he gave me that download and he said, you need to change your thought about this. Instead of you saying that you have to, start saying that you get to. You get to do this. Literally, God showed me in that moment how I could shift from scarcity and lack to a mind of gratitude in a moment. And that's what I did. I said, I get to do this. I get to do this instead of I have to. So just that simple shift. If you guys wake up tomorrow and you're feeling like you have to do this or you have to go to work, like me, I know there's some things that I need to, no, that I get to get done. Okay. I get to work my business. I get to talk to people, so if there's some things that that you have to do and you're feeling some kind of way, I want you to rephrase it. Rephrase it with I get to show up. I get to be the mommy of these beautiful kids. I get to be the wife of this amazing husband. I get to show up and help whatever. Okay. Gratitude, guys. So let's talk about some of the actual benefits of gratitude. Number one, it improves your mental well being. Gratitude has been linked to lower levels of depression and anxiety, as well as increased feelings of happiness in your life and satisfaction. Okay. Number two, your physical health. Grateful people may experience better sleep. Isn't that interesting how everyone tells you to practice gratitude? Get your little gratitude journal before you go to sleep and write down 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for. Because you literally go to sleep better. You could sleep better. You have reduced stress levels. It brings down your cortisone levels. Your immune system is stronger. And it just helps. It's just an overall health improvement. Okay. Number 3, you can strengthen your relationships. Because that's the thing, is like when I was doing that, when I was saying that to myself, oh, I hate that I have to do this and I have to do that. I literally was doing something for my husband. But when I made that shift and I said to myself, I get to, it just turned everything around. It made our relationship go better. And that's the thing, it will strengthen. Practicing gratitude will strengthen your relationships. Okay. It helps you to foster closer connections, and it helps you to promote empathy and trust. Right. So that is something that you could do. That's principle number 5. Let's move on, guys, to principle number 6. Um, Elevating your expectations through faith. Okay. So we talked a little bit about that. So number 1 is encouraging your attitude of expecting the best outcomes. How many of you guys are walking around in life and you're really thinking, you're let's be honest, you're feeling some kind of way about your life and your life circumstances, things that you have had to deal with, right? And you have to decide to shift it, right? To move from a place of doubt, move from a place of bitterness, right? And we're talking about bitterness, guys. There's some people that you need to forgive. There's some folks that you need to forgive. You may need to forgive yourself. You may need to forgive other people. You may need to even forgive God. What does that look like? You honestly going to God and telling him. I remember something. As a kid, my father, he passed away of cancer when I was 11, 12 years old. Okay. And this is a very interesting story. So when I was about 11 or 12 years old, my dad gets this diagnosis of terminal cancer. Now, because of the way that our faith is set up, we are a family of faith. My mom, she believed, she hung on to God's word that God would heal her husband. And she made us believe too. And I remember that year that he was going through chemotherapy and all the stuff and the different surgeries that he had to get done. That was the year that I grew so close to God that literally every night, without fail, I made sure that I said my prayers. Not only did I grow closer to God, but also I grew closer to my sister, who we shared a bedroom together. Okay. And we would say our prayers together. And so we grew we grew to just have this close bond, honestly. And now when the miracle didn't happen, or we say the miracle didn't happen, because a lot of things happened over the next 12 months. Number 1, my dad had been really living a life that was not aligned with God. And so what that did was that helped him to rededicate his life to God. He went to the church. All those years since I was a baby, he had never gone to church with us. My mom, she always took us to church. She's the reason I got baptized when I was like 5 or 6 years old. but he had never gone to church with us like that. Maybe I could think of one time, like a Christmas play or something that he had gone. But other than that, and we were people who like we lived in church. Sunday we was at church, maybe all day. And then you had choir rehearsal, Bible study, everything that we could go to, we were there. And so he never came with us. And like I said, he lived a life that was not necessarily aligned with God. Okay. So during that 12 months of his cancer journey, the diagnosis and all that stuff, he literally started to, he rededicated his life to God and his relationship grew closer with God in Christ. So we wanted the outcome of him to get better and to be healed. But a lot of times healing doesn't happen on this side of heaven. Okay. It may happen, you know, um, in heaven. So, but also too, healing took place with him actually rededicating his life to God, right? But I'm telling you this story, guys, is because all that time, y'all, like all those different all the year long of us hoping and praying and just understanding and knowing that like God, come on, you can heal him, we know that you can heal him, like that grew a bond of just, I can't even explain it, y'all. It just was a very deep bond of prayer with God. So let's move on. Let's go to number 6. I'm trying to figure out what I was going to tell you guys. I was trying to wrap that story up, but I kind of lost my train of thought there. Let's see. We were moving on. Oh, that's right. My faith grew. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. That my faith grew. Like I became my strongest through that. Even though that was a hurting time and even though my expectation wasn't the expectation that I wanted God, I really wanted him to heal my father and I absolutely was upset with God. That's what I was trying to get to, y'all. I had grown upset with God. That's what it was. I literally had to come back to God years later and tell him, Lord, please forgive me because I was mad at you. I was mad at you because you took my dad, because you didn't heal him, because you decided not to heal him. Now, as an adult, I know way better, okay? Because the thing is, guys, is that you can literally be praying with people and praying for people, claiming their healing, and they not want it. They're tired. They want to go home to Jesus. They want to go home to God. So it has nothing to do with God not healing a person, okay? And so I literally had to forgive myself for that. I had to acknowledge and let God know that I had been upset with him about it. So, listen, we all have those things in life. There are circumstances and things that we have gone through that people don't even know about. And had they had to go through it, they may or may not have made it. But that's what faith is about. Is continuing on this journey of faith, knowing that God, he has your back. Like literally. All right, guys, let's go to principle number 7, action towards goals. Okay. So here's the thing. We talked about identifying limiting beliefs and things that are not going so right in your life and how, listen, you have the power to start to shift that and change that and really acknowledge and say, Lord, hey, where's my peace in my life? Where's my money, my finances in my life? Where's the abundance in my life that I should be experiencing? But there is a time where there's some things that you have to do, right? You have to start to make some clear cut goals. So setting and pursuing audacious goals while trusting in divine timing and provision, trusting in God's timing that it's all going to work out for your good. Even the word of God tells us that, okay? All things work together for the good of those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. So, number one, setting specific, measurable goals. Define your objectives with specific criteria for success, such as deadlines, metrics, implementing effective strategies. Break down your goals into like actionable steps, right? Into milestones, if you will. Okay. I had to do this myself, guys, when I had to taper from a medication that literally left me dependent on it. Okay. I had to set a goal. My goal was to take out a specific quantity of the medication every day, because this medication, you couldn't just abruptly stop it. Otherwise, you could possibly pass away, you could have seizures, all the kind of things. So I had to make milestones. And I remember having I had something, it was sort of like this, but it was like a dry erase board. And what I would do to keep myself accountable is I would write on there how many more days I had left in my taper plan. I would erase it. So each day I would erase it and I would circle the next day, right? And it helped me because it helped me to realize, okay, I made it through that day. Let's go to the next day. And that's what we have to do. We have to set milestones on our goals, okay? Number 8, principle number 8, generosity and multiplication. You want to promote a culture of generosity, right? Meaning, I know me, I'm a generous person. And I'm going to tell y'all this, I do not like people who are not generous. If you have experienced me and you know how generous I am, please don't come around me with that, that greedy. I can't do it. Because literally, if you want to operate in abundance, you have to operate from a realm of knowing that, things are always coming in, right? That things are always flowing to you. Yes, they leave your hand, but that's because other things are coming to you, right? There's an old saying, y'all, TikTok shop got me. This smells good. There's an old saying that says that you can't receive anything. Why? Because you are holding on. You are sitting here holding on to the little that you have. Therefore, it's impossible for God to bless you with more. So you have to cultivate a mindset of generosity, right? So number one, here's some ways to do that. It's to encourage sharing, right? Bless people, motivate people. Words are free. You can motivate individuals, you can help them, you can inspire them, give them a tip, a strategy, a resource, right? I am constantly always sowing seeds, okay? Number 2, frame your generosity as worship to God, okay? You have to frame your generosity as worship, even though the Bible says that too. It says a couple things. Let me pull up some scriptures right here. When you lend, the Bible says that in Proverbs 19:17, that when you lend to the poor, you actually loan to the Lord. Come on now. And can't nobody pay you back like the Lord. So generosity is a thing. It's a strategy, y'all. It's a principle that you want to rock, right? All right, number 10, and this is the last one. Wait, let me make sure that oh wait, no, I skipped. Okay, number 9, your mindset of abundance. Transitioning from scarcity to an abundance mindset. What you're going to have to understand is that abundance isn't just material, but it's also about the love you have. Are you abundant in love? Are you abundant in joy? Are you abundant in peace? Okay. Are you abundant in kindness? Are you abundant in gentleness? Right? Are you abundant in trust? Can you be trusted? Can you help people? Come on, there's so many different ways that literally you can tap into your abundance. And from there, from tapping into it there, do you guys know that all other types of abundance starts to flow in your life? Relationships, resources, monies, land, properties, stocks, all those types of things start to flow in your life because of that. Think about it. If you are kind to one person, you don't even know the potential they have to change your life. And that's how God works. When God wants to bless you with money, a lot of times you know that He's going to do it through somebody else. Do you realize that? So start to operate in the things of the other abundant ways that you can operate in. Okay. Some of the ones that I mentioned before. Okay. So, number one, practice daily gratitude. Start each day by listing 3 specific things that you are grateful for. Express gratitude to others verbally. Okay. Actually telling them thank you. I appreciate you. Just kind words. Kind words are free. Like giving them compliments. That's a kind thing to do. Be generous. Engage in acts of generosity, such as volunteering, sharing your skills, right? Um, Focus on giving without the expectation of receiving something in return. Get ready for your abundance, y'all. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. This is my last story for real, for real. I remember back in 2017, I was actually working for a corporation. And, it was a corporate job that I had. And um, I was a liaison, like an events or community liaison. And so what I was doing, I was responsible for like the community events, the day-to-day like operations for children and for the elderly people on this property. Okay. And I remember when I first got there, you know, the property was okay, but the department that I was working in, it was just really holed out. They had old computers, they had old desks, computers and printers that did not work, books and just toys that were old and crayons that were just everything. It was just a mess. And so I remember cleaning things up. And I'm cleaning things up, and then I'm, taking things. I'm like, okay, this is old. We cannot do anything with this. And it's like God had put something in my head. He said, okay, Candace, get ready for the new. I didn't know where the new was coming, because here's the thing, y'all. I was this community liaison, but I had a very tight budget. Like they gave me a very tight budget for the whole month and for the entire community. Okay. For like, I don't know, it was probably, I don't know how many residents it was that lived there. I can't remember. But my point was my budget was tight. And so I did not necessarily see where it was going to come from. But I heard God clearly, and He said, Candace, get ready for the new. And so I started to remove everything that was old that we could not use. We could not, repair and make better. And I was like, this is just junk that has to go. And I just started trusting in God. And sooner than later, my boss actually came in. She started to bring in, new cabinets. She got the painters to come in. There was just so much that happened. And y'all, literally, I won an award. I won an award for like remaking and remodeling that whole department, and then being the coordinator of, I think, the quarter, I think it was. And so I did that like in my first 3 months. So y'all, get ready for the abundance. Think about what's old in your life. What do you need to get rid of? What is not serving you anymore? And get rid of it. Get ready for what God has for you. Okay. He has so much for you. It doesn't matter if it's relationships, if it's an old mindset. It's time to go. Get ready for the abundance. Let's go to number 10. This is the final principle: continuous transformation and growth. This is what it's going to take. Okay. This is what it's going to take. That may look like mentorship. That may look like coaching. That may look like being around someone who has embodied this abundant mindset. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a little trip inside of the infinite mind system. I'm going to share with you guys some ways that you can actually work with me on today. Let's do that. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, how do we do that? present, share my screen. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm going to introduce to you guys. Actually, that is the wrong one. Let me see. Hang tight, guys. Let me remove that. Here we go. I'm going to share with you guys the Infinite Mind Blueprint system right now, y'all. It is on sale. There's like 3 different ways I'm going to share with you guys on how you can work with me. It's on sale for $2.95. Now, this isn't coaching. This is literally a 73-page document, and it is fillable that you can use to like map out your abundance journey. So let me share that with you guys. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is the Infinite Mind Blueprint. And guys, this is the actual blueprint system that God put in my heart, because when that coach did that to me, I was literally, you know, I was down for like a week or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, meaning I did not work my business for like a week or two. And then God said, no, you have the infinite. Actually, let me go back. I'll tell y'all this story. I called it the $1 million mind, or the millionaire mind, something like that. But then my son, he saw me writing, he's at the time, I think he was 11, and he saw me writing and creating it. And he was like, no, mommy, you have an infinite mind. And he told me that, and that's when I changed it. So it's the Infinite Mind Blueprint system. And so literally this was the system that God created. He showed me to create, because he said, daughter, this coach tried to put on you a spirit of scarcity and lack. Because honestly, what I felt when she said these things to me is I felt like, oh wow, I can't create anything in my business, or it made me feel, I don't know, just kind of small. It's like I started to shrink. But that's what the enemy wanted, because he already knows. He knows what God has planned. He knows that you are literally put on this earth to touch so many people. I'm literally on this earth to touch so many people, to motivate them, to pull out their creativity. Okay. And so the enemy knew that, and he wanted to discourage me, to stop me from thriving in my coaching business. Glory be to God that it didn't happen. Okay. So this is the Infinite Mind Blueprint system. You just come on in here. This is a sneak peek. This is me actually giving you a welcome into the system. Let me see if I'm going to go ahead and drop the links here. Hang on, y'all. Let me drop the links while I'm talking about it, then you guys can check it out. What's that? Let's see. Ascension. Okay, here it is. Let me drop the link. Y'all, it's a lot of tech that goes on. Let's drop the link here. There we go. Okay, so back to the Infinite Mind Blueprint system. And let me make sure you guys are being able to see this. Y'all, let me know if you guys have any questions, by the way. Let me know if you guys can see. Okay, great. Y'all can see this. So this is the actual setup here. And right away, if you need any help, you can come over here to the right-hand side. You can join the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, or if you want extra help, by you actually getting this little $2.95 system as it is right now. Okay, normally costs 97, but you actually are able to get access to my calendar. So you get a free call. It's like a free 15 or 20-minute call that you can get access to. Then this is the actual blueprint system. So let me share with you guys what I did. We actually even upgraded the system. So let's download it. You get the Canva, the actual, the Canva template, but this is the actual PDF. It's fillable. Let me download it so you guys can see. So you can come in here and get to work on it. Ready to shift into the mindset of abundance? Okay, start working on it. Okay, so here it is now. I love this because you can come in here and actually type in your completion date. Remember, we talked a little bit about setting goals. So let's just say that your completion date, you want to get this completed by July 2nd. Okay, 2024. Yay. And put my name. All right, perfect. Then you come on in here, you read everything, okay? You go to phase 1, you unveil those limiting things and beliefs, okay, that are keeping you stuck or stagnant, and you go ahead and start to write on the questionnaire. Like this one says, what beliefs or thoughts do you hold about your own worthiness of abundance and blessings? So you can type what you're feeling. That is the questionnaire. Then, let me see if I can make it a little bit smaller. Then, and let me make sure I'm sharing with y'all because I swear this thing, it gets weird on me sometimes. Hold on. So yeah, I don't know if I'm sharing with y'all the actual book. So let's do that. Hold on a minute. Okay. Let me come over here and share a new screen with y'all. We want to remove that. And because I want to share with you guys there we go. Okay. So here is what I was telling y'all. So as I was actually writing this out, what I was saying is that these are the fillable. You can come in here and write. So let's just say, for instance, you wanted to complete this thing. You can come in here and write July 2nd, 2024. You can put your name in here. You can come on down to where it starts to ask you about the questions. What beliefs or thoughts do you hold about your own worthiness of abundance and blessings? And so you could put my blessings were limited. I'll just put that on there. Okay. Yeah, so you can come in here and answer these questions as you feel. These are 73 pages of abundant work, okay? So that is the system. The other ways, guys, is that we can actually work together is, let me remove that and let me find the link, is that I'm actually going to be coaching a very intimate group, and it's going to be for 4 weeks. You actually get 2 sessions. It's 4 weeks. You get a private group. And I'm going to be coaching you guys on how to shift, okay, from lack and scarcity. I'm going to drop the link here. The next one is the infinite mind, or it's the infinite into mind. So it's a mini mastermind. And this one I'm really excited about because it's 12 weeks. And so in this 12 weeks, we are going to be unveiling limiting beliefs together. Okay. We're going to be reframing. But not only will we be doing that, guys, because I'm very much a action orientated person, very much on heavy on execution. There's no way that you can be around me and not execute. Okay. So we're going to be diving into personal credit, business credit. I'm actually going to, if you have a business, I'm going to show you how you can actually get funding for your business. So we're going to be tapping into some things. And if you are wanting to become a coach, or if you're wanting to create digital products, we're going to dive into all of that. Okay. So it's a twofold thing. It's a little bit of life coaching, and then there's a bit of business coaching. For the infinite into mine, it's 3333, and it's for 12 weeks. So let me go ahead and drop those links so that you guys can have access to those. And if you guys have questions, then private message me about it. Private message me about it. So let's copy. Do you guys have any questions on tonight? Because we're about to end our free masterclass. It has been a ball, me hanging out with y'all. Got to get something to drink. Thank you so much, Jesus, for showing up. I appreciate you, brother. Y'all make sure y'all tap into Jesus with Jesus Ortiz. He is absolutely amazing, and he's doing some amazing things on the scene. But yeah, guys, let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, what we're going to do is we are going to end this, and I cannot wait for our next training, our next mastermind. Definitely, if you guys are on here, at the very least, you definitely need to get the Infinite Mind Blueprint system. Okay, the one it's on sale for $295. Definitely grab that. But if you're interested in going deeper and actually receiving coaching, y'all, there's so much that happens when you actually coach with someone who has already tapped into this. Okay. It's phenomenal. So I'm excited about that, guys. And I cannot wait to be coming to you guys a lot more live in this group. We have more people that are coming in. I see someone else who wants to get into the group. Let me go ahead and get her in there. But yeah, so hope you guys have an amazing, amazing night, and blessings to you all. Bye-bye.